everyone. It's Enjoy English School. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
It's day 2 of our Bathhouses Around the World article. And yesterday we kind of talked about where they came from. India, Turkey, Greece, and Rome. And we also learned that these are kind of popular places to read books and also go to the bathroom.
Yeah, 那我们要接续昨天的这个主题，就是纵观世界澡堂。我们昨天已经有讲到4个国家的澡堂了，对不对？有很不一样的那种概念。土耳其它是比较像是穆斯林伊斯兰教的，然后其他例如像希腊啊，或者是像印度啊这些地方，他们又是另外一个比较像是一个交际场所的一个澡堂。
Now, yesterday I mentioned that Europeans for a long time actually were afraid to take baths.
那昨天开头的时候，老师有提到说，其实欧洲人他们有一段时间是非常害怕洗澡的哦。
That's right. When Rome ended, that's about the end of the Han Dynasty, nobody could pay to take care of the baths anymore. And so the water in Rome and the rivers became really dirty places.
所以在罗马那个年代结束的时候，也就是大概汉代结束的那个时期，就是可能他们的地方可能因为打仗或什么吧，变得很脏乱这样，所以大家就会很害怕那个水啊什么的。
Also, when someone died, if you didn't have money to bury them, they started throwing people in the river. If you had a dead horse, you throw it in the river. So the rivers became really, really dirty places. Before, you'd have mountain water. They would heat it up and be very clean. Now you were taking a bath and drinking dead people water.
Oh my god. 所以他说之前打仗的时候马死掉人死掉，他们就没有钱可以买，也没有地可以买，他们就直接放水流。所以呢，你想要喝里面有死马的水吗？
So what did people start doing? In Asia, people drank tea. In Europe, people drank beer.
所以因为这个原因，所以亚洲人开始喝茶，然后欧洲人开始喝啤酒。
That's right, and this is why foreigners can drink alcohol really easily. A long time ago, our genes had to be good with alcohol, or you had to drink the water, and then you died.
所以老师说，这就是为什么他们这种脸孔的人这么会喝啤酒，因为这就是在他们基因里面、血里面就流着啤酒。因为你如果不喝酒的话，你就会死掉；喝水你就会死掉，所以我们一定要喝酒。
That's the story. Let's get ready.
没有18岁不要喝酒啊，免责。
Oh my gosh. Let's get ready for paragraph 1.
Bathhouses around the world. After Europeans arrived in America, they found Native Americans using sweat lodges as part of their religious rituals. Some Native Americans still use sweat lodges today. In these small houses, people pour water over hot rocks to make steam. They believe this is good for their bodies and minds. In Japan, natural hot springs called onsen are quite famous. The country's many active volcanoes give these springs their heat. Frequent trips to the baths are good for one's health. However, visitors must follow strict rules at the onsen. For example, some don't allow the use of bathing suits. People in many countries are fond of going to saunas to relax, but many don't know that the word sauna actually comes from Finnish.These hot rooms are especially popular in Finland's cold northern climate. In fact, many Finnish people have one in their home. Bathhouses also have a long history in Russia, where they are called banyas and have been popular for hundreds of years. A banya usually includes a cold pool and a sauna room. According to Russia's traditional stories, there is a spirit living in the banya.Thus, people are careful to be polite in the banya so the spirit won't get angry.
All right, let's jump right into paragraph 1. After Europeans arrived in America, they found Native Americans using sweat lodges as part of their religious rituals.
那在欧洲人抵达美洲之后，他们发现印第安人使用 sweat lodges 就是小木屋的意思，所以他们用一个流汗小屋作为他们宗教仪式的一个部分。
Be careful of the pronunciation here. So, S-W-E-A-T is not sweet. This is sweat. E-A is short E here.
那 sweet 甜呢是 S-W-E-E-T， 这边是 E-A-T， 所以要注意读音是 sweat。And
our next word, we have lodges. The G is a J. It's not lodges. It's lodges. G is J. Write a J there.
所以这边的 G 发 J 的声音会比较好读哦 lodges.
And yesterday we talked about religious practices or ancient practices. That's what this word means here, rituals. Rituals here feels like a more specific practice. So a practice is a big umbrella term. One of them is a ritual.
那昨天我们有讲到宗教的一些行为，我们用 practice 练习那个字嘛。那在这边 ritual 这个字其实蛮好的，因为我们其实中文很常强调仪式感嘛，其实就是这个字。那它就是一个所有宗教的活动里面底下一个仪式这样。
And this T is a CH here. You can write that down. It's not ritual, it's ritual.
Ritual.
Like you got a lot of money, ritual. Next, we have some Native Americans still use sweat lodges today.
那我们有一些印第安人 Native American， 其实 Native 就是当地的，所以当地的美国人我们就是翻译成印第安人哦。他们今天仍然会使用流汗小屋哦。
This word native looks like the word natural because N-A-T means to be born.
所以 N-A-T 这三个字的字根其实就是 to be born， 也就是出生的意思。
That's right. So nature means like,自然, but then also Native Americans, you're born in America. Our next sentence says, in these small houses, people pour water over hot rocks to make steam.
好聪明哦。所以在这些小屋里面，人们会将水倒到这个滚烫的石头上，然后就会制造出这个 steam， 叫做蒸汽。
Steam is uncountable. Write that down. U-N.
Yeah, U-N, uncountable noun. 就是不可数名词。
And that's because it's water. Steam is water and it can flow. Anything that can flow will be an uncountable noun.
任何流动的东西都是不可数名词，所以要特别注意哦。
Our next sentence begins, they believe this is good for their bodies and minds.
那他们相信呢，这个是对他们的身心是有帮助的。
Yeah, do you think so?
Relaxing.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a fan of baths, but sometimes when I'm like it's really cold or like I'm really tired, a good bath feels good, right?
Yeah, that's why we have hot spring, sauna right now,
I've never been to a hot spring. No, I've been to a hot spring once in Taiwan.
Really?
I'm not interested. I'm like a very busy person. I don't like to sit and do nothing. When I have free time, I'm still doing something. I can't do nothing.
Wow.
I can't do nothing.
You don't know how to enjoy life.
No, I know how to enjoy life. I just can't enjoy doing nothing. My wife thinks I'm crazy because I can't just sit and do nothing.
Workaholic.
Yeah, but it's fun. I'm like,
Yeah, I love hot spring. I love hot and cold and hot, like switching poles.
Do you really? You go hot and then jump into the cold one? You feel like the needles?
Yeah, I love
that's
it.
A terrible feeling.
And I feel like I'm getting brighter and smarter when I'm doing that.
Do you go cold to hot first or hot then to cold?
Hot first and then cold.
So do you always finish with cold?
Normally I finish with cold, but if it's in winter, I finish in hot.
Oh my gosh. Cold showers is a terrible idea to me. I'm not interested in that at all.
7度 is the best. Like 7 degree 冷水是最棒的。
Terrible. Do you agree? Any of you take cold showers?
Definitely.
And if you do, why?
Smart people do that. I learned from that.
That's okay. We're going to continue here. Our next paragraph begins, in Japan, natural hot springs called onsen are quite famous.
所以这边有一个 onsen， 所以在日本叫做 onsen 的天然温泉 quite famous， 相当有名哦。
The country's many active volcanoes give these springs their heat.
Active 是活跃的意思，所以当你看到 active volcano， 它是活火山，所以这个国家许多的活火山带给这些温泉 heat 热度。
Yeah, in fact, the hot spring I went to in Taiwan was on Green Island. There's a volcano one. Yeah. It's like in the ocean. You have to go into the ocean. Is there? That's the one I went to because it was interesting. Yeah, Green Island's fun. I like Green Island.
Yeah.
Let's continue. Frequent trips to the baths are good for one's health. However, visitors must follow strict rules at the onsen.
那经常去泡澡对健康有好处，然而来访的人一定要遵守它的规定。
For example, some don't allow the use of bathing suits.
举例来说，有些地方是不允许泳衣的哦。
So, you feel happy there?
Yeah. I love to be naked, by the way.
So, I went to Tokyo with like a Taiwanese group. I didn't go with other foreigners. And they took us to a real traditional onsen. And they're like, okay, go to the hot spring. I'm like, okay. But I was really young. I couldn't speak Chinese at that time. So like, I tried to walk in with my bathing suit. I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, I got to go naked? They're like, huh? So I felt really uncomfortable. I'm like the only foreigner. I'm really young. And like all these abes are like there and they're all looking at me and I was just like, oh, this is terrible. And then you jump in the hot spring naked and then you go outside. It's really cold and like Mount Fuji's right there. And it's so weird standing with these. It was so weird standing with these abes and they're like talking, hanging out. We're all naked outside and you're looking at Mount Fuji.
大家不要误会，那个阿北其实就是阿北的意思。老师是在讲中文啊，哈。老师说他很年轻还不会讲中文的时候，跟着一团亚洲团、台湾团去日本泡温泉，然后他要穿他的可爱的小短裤进去的时候，他们说不可以穿泳衣哦，要裸体。老师觉得很别扭，然后他就裸体站在那边跟所有的阿北聊天，然后看着富士山。
Yeah, it was. I don't know. You liked it? I don't. It wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy it. And like everyone was friends and talking, and I didn't want to talk to anybody. But that's a cultural thing,
You're
right?
Shy.
Yes, I didn't. Well, I didn't have any friends either. I think if I was with friends, it would be even worse.
But you have nude beach in your culture.
I don't go to them though.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Are there nude beaches in Taiwan? No, right? No, I wouldn't go to those. I don't want to go. I feel too. Don't look at me.
老师是害羞的，好可爱哦。
I don't want to go. I often talk about if my cats could wear clothes, I'd be really happy. Like dress them in little cute outfits, that'd be really funny, right?
That's like torture, animal torture.
No, if they liked it, that's why I don't do it because if they liked it, like if they like, you know how a monkey can wear a didiaper, I would do that. It would be so cute.
老师想要帮他的猫咪穿衣服啦，他连猫咪裸体他都不行啦。
Yeah, they don't like that though, so no clothes for them. All right, let's get ready to take a break. Everyone, welcome back to Enjoy English School. And before we begin our third and fourth paragraphs, we were talking about how people like had the wrong end of the stick yesterday. I wanted to share one more story, and we talked about how this was really expensive in the past. This was really hard to get. But at least in Europe, around 1500, we had the Gutenberg press, and that was the invention of easy-to-print paper.
所以老师有说，我们昨天有提到说，纸张在以前是非常奢侈的，对不对？所以大概在15世纪吗？
Yeah.
那他们会有一个比较简易的这个影印的方法。
And that made paper a lot cheaper. And so what they would do, instead of having libraries, because books were expensive and people could steal them, they would have people stand outside and give you little advertisements about some business or a restaurant, maybe a new building, just like in Taiwan.
所以在那个时候纸张开始变得比较便宜，变得比较普及了之后，他们在路上啊，或者是在可能门口、店门口，就会有人去发传单，告诉你什么事情啊，什么工作啊等等的资讯。
So you'd go to the public bathroom and you'd read about the new restaurant or the building and learn all about it because you were bored. There's no cell phone. You would take the book and then you would use it to clean your butt.
所以他说，因为他们在这个公共澡堂或厕所前面会发这个东西，所以你在上厕所无聊的时候，因为那个时候没有手机，你没有其他的娱乐，所以你就会很认真的去看这个广告。看完这个广告之后，你就可以顺便把它揉一揉，当成卫生纸。
That was the point. That was the goal of it. They would give it to you right there. I mean, it wasn't like this paper, right? It was softer paper, but that was the point of the paper. They give you the little paper to read, and then you could wipe your butt with it. It was like two birds with one stone kind of idea.
一石二鸟的一个想法哦，就是你做了一个宣传，广告效果达到了之后，还可以亲屁股。
All right, let's continue. People in many countries are fond of going to saunas to relax, but many don't know that the word sauna actually comes from Finnish.
所以这边 are fond of 是一个很漂亮的片语，它其实就是 love 或 like 喜欢的意思，但是你用 fun 这个字就是你知道 level 不一样，好不好？所以这个句子还在说许多国家的人喜欢去桑拿放松，其实就是有点像三温暖这样，但很多人可能不知道哦，包含我也不知道，原本啦，就是 sauna 这个字的字是其实原本是来自于芬兰语。
And we can see sauna is in italics. That means like the words are sideways or to the left and right. That's telling us that this word is a title or perhaps it comes from another language. And that's what this means here. Sauna is Finnish.
那在书写体里面，你看到如果字它是用斜体去写，大部分都是书名啊、电影名称或者是外来语，这边就是外来语。
These hot rooms are especially popular in Finland's cold northern climate. In fact, many Finnish people have one in their home.
所以这些热房间在芬兰寒冷的北方气候中特别受欢迎。老师刚刚有讲北方的那个 northern 的那个读音有特别强调。那事实上，许多的芬兰人家里其实都有一个这样子 sauna 的一个房间。
Pay attention to the pronunciation of northern because the word north, bay, that th has that unvoiced consonant, north. But when we make it this adjective, northern, that you have to voice the th or it's inaccurate. We'll still understand it, but it's not accurate. No foreigner would say northern.
所以老师这边有讲到，后面如果是 ERN， 这个 TH 的声音会有点共鸣，所以是好难哦。
The opposite is much harder. The nan, it means south. But when we make it the adjective, it becomes southern. So ow becomes becomes th. South, southern. Southern with a short U.
单纯念好难哦，所以要整个字练习会比较容易一点。
Yeah, this is a word when I teach it, I make students practice it before we say it. Like you got to say it, practice it a few times, and then the next class when we actually use it, they'll be prepared because it's a really tricky, hard one. So pay attention to it, give it a highlight, and give it a star. Our next sentence says, bathhouses also have a long history in Russia where they are called banyas and have been popular for hundreds of years.
那在俄罗斯，我们刚刚从日本现在来到俄罗斯环游世界了哈。然后公共的浴室也有悠久的历史，那他们以前被称为 banyas， 而且已经受欢迎了好几百年。
Yeah, it seems like saunas are really popular anywhere it's really cold because it feels good to come out of the really, really cold weather and feel nice and warm. It's a good feeling, right?
Yeah, 从冷的地方，然后进入到一个很热的一个汤里面，哇。
Do you like the dry or the hot saunas?
I like the hot sauna.
Or not, that's dry or hot. Wet or dry. Yeah, there you go.
I like the wet one.
I do too. I remember when I was in university, there was this guy, I'd go to the sauna, I'd go swimming, and then I'd sit in the sauna just because it felt nice. And there was a guy in there, he'd always like work out in there. He'd like do push-ups, jump and jack. He didn't sit and relax. He worked out the whole time in there.
That is very dangerous.
Is it really?
Yeah.
He was like he looked like my red pen. He was Mr. Cherry. He was so red. But he was strong, so what did I know?
所以老师说他之前有看到一个人很喜欢在那个 sauna 里面做 jumping jack， 就是开合跳，或者是 push ups 伏地挺身。我说啊，这个很危险。
Really? Yeah.
It's like so easy. It's like hot yoga 跟热瑜伽一样，很容易 heat stroke.
Oh, really? So you like pass out and like die
Yeah.
or something? Oh. I always thought the floors would be really dirty. So that's why I always thought it was weird. I'm like, you're putting your hands on these floors?
Hygiene freak.
Yeah. It's dirty. That's dirty. All right, let's continue. A banya usually includes a cold pool and a sauna room.
那这边 banya 你可以看到它是斜体，原因也是一样，因为它是外来语嘛，它是从俄罗斯来的，所以一个 banya 通常包含了一个冷池跟一个 sauna 的房间。
So when we include, it just means to have.
包含。
That's right. I wrote the word have right above include here. Include, when you're trying to show off your English or write more formally, is a much better word choice than to have.
炫耀，觉得你英文很好的时候可以用 include.
So you said you're going to jump into the sauna, or no, you're going to go hot and then cold, right? Ugh. According to Russia's traditional stories, there is a spirit living in the banya.
所以根据俄罗斯的传统故事，有一个 spirit 就是一个幽灵它住在 banya 里面。
Now, a spirit really just means ghost, but the feeling is definitely different.
So different.
When you say ghost, it's like, ooh!
可怕的鬼鬼。
Yeah, exactly, that's right. A spirit, kind of you have it inside of you and I. It's closer to your soul,
比较像是
S-O-U-L.
灵魂的那个感觉，比较不会有那种很诡异、很可怕的感觉，我们就会用 spirit 这个字。
And that's right. The ghost always feels terrible, but a spirit could be good or bad. You could make a spirit angry. But a ghost, I think, is generally angry. So the spirit won't get angry.
所以因此，这边的因此其实接续了上一个句子，因为他们相信班亚里面都会有一个就是像守护神这样子。那所以呢，因此人们在班亚里面要注意礼貌，这样子这个守护神幽灵才不会生气。其实这个概念有点像是我们的土地公嘛。
Yeah, I think so. Okay, you got to tell us about your spirit story. I need to know more.
Spirit story?
Yeah, you said you saw a ghost.
Okay, so I think the ghost or the spirit knew that I could see him. So he was kind of like staring me in my eyes and then just take off his hat and put it right beside the waist and be like...
So this was a ghost. This was a bad...
No, I don't think he has any bad intention.
He took his head off in front of you.
But he was right beside my grandma.
Your grandma ghost?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
he's like my grandma's neighbor, right?
Okay, so he's like, hey, nice to meet you. Like, kind of like people would take their hat off to be polite.
He pulls his
hat off. He's being polite. But he didn't, he was like showing you a magic trick.
I think he knew that I was young and I could see him.
Okay.
So he was like trying to give me, a show.
I'm happy Minnie tells you this story because a long time ago when I first started to enjoy, I told the time when I saw a UFO in Taiwan. I saw a UFO in Taiwan and everyone thought I was crazy. Everyone was just like, you're crazy, dude. And yeah, so I'm happy you told the story because now we have two crazy people working here.
Yay! Don't fire us.
Let's do our vocabulary review. Okay, it's time for vocab review. Our first word today is uncountable, steam.
不可数的 steam 蒸汽。
Next we have a verb, active. This is an adjective, active.
那我们现在还有一个形容词是 active， 代表是活跃的，是活的。
It ends in IVE. It's probably an adjective. Our next word is frequent.
再来，我们看到 frequent 这个字其实就是经常的，代表频率很高的，我们就会说 frequent.
And lastly, we have another good adjective, strict.
严格的，你爸妈是不是严格的？你老师是不是严格？我们就可以用 strict 这个字。
All right, well, that is all the time we have for today at Enjoy English School. But we'll catch you next time. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.